Ladies and gentlemen, as announced at the closing session yesterday, our agenda today is a cultural performance. Are you excited for today? Because I am. Thank you for your enthusiasm on this last day of this program. Before we continue, please let me introduce myself. My name is Aramade Latifa Wahiputri, and I'll be your master of ceremony, and I will guide you all during this session. Please be kind upon me, as you may find many mistakes from me. Thank you. For the first performance, we are going to watch a cultural performance from the country of Malaysia and Brunei Darussalam. Before we continue, I would like to ask the representative from our brother and sister from Malaysia and Brunei Darussalam. Maybe we'll go with Malaysia first. Is there any brother and sister from Malaysia who can explain to us about the video that we'll be showing in the moment? Or maybe our brother and sister from Brunei Darussalam. Okay. Okay, yes.
May I present about Brunei Darussalam first?
Okay. Please, the time screen is yours.
Okay. Everyone can see my screen? Okay, yes. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to Master of Ceremony. Since we have a limited time, without any delay, I will present the cultural session, cultural sharing of Brunei Darussalam. Before I start, let us watch a short video about Brunei.
Where I'm from, everything is different. Here, fast food is home-cooked food. And our downtown, skyscrapers, we've got those too, the oldest in the world. The stars can be seen here, even during the day. And everyone is family.
Okay. Then moving on. Okay, a brief historical background about Brunei is that Brunei became a new nation on 1st January 1954, celebrating its independence and upholding its identity as a Malay and Islamic state governed by a monarchy. Majority of Bruneians are Malay, which this group consists of 7 recognized ethnicities, each with their own unique cultural practices in various aspects, be it delicacies, traditions, wedding, clothing, and such. MIB, or Malay Islamic Monarch, has become the foundation that makes our culture and beliefs uniquely Bruneian. In the next slide, I would like to highlight 3 aspects of culture and heritage. The first is the Islamic culture. According to Chinese historical records, Islam has been present in Brunei since the 10th century, and by the reign of the 3rd monarch, Sultan Sharif Ali, Brunei grew into an Islamic empire. Brunei is famous in Southeast Asia for its gorgeous mosques and Islamic architecture. As you can see from the slides, there are two mosques. These two are among the spectacular and most visited by tourists. Non-Muslims can enter outside of prayer time and are provided with modest clothing. The second part is about history. As the world's oldest reigning monarchy, Brunei is home to centuries of royal heritage, with the current Sultan's family line dating back over 600 years. The first one, Royal Regalia Museum, as the name stated, it displays imitations or replicas of royalty ceremonial objects. Whereas Brunei History Center, it offers an insight into the kind of tools ancient Bruneians use for their daily routine. And the third part is about Kampung Ayer or water village. According to early history, Kampung Ayer is the traditional settlement located near the capital in Brunei. Back then, various activities have been carried on water mode, and one of the main activity during that time was trading, in which the traders during that time were called padian. Now, not all Kampung Air existed anymore, as some villages have gone through redevelopment and relocation to land. The next slide, we will have the local traditional delicacies of Brunei. I would like to highlight only two of these delicacies. The first one is nasi katok. Katok means knock in English. The story of how this name came about is that people used to knock on the seller's doors to make an order. Gradually, the name stuck, and now we have one of the most beloved dishes of the country. Though there are many variations of the dish spread throughout Brunei, but the basic contents remain the same. One serving of rice, one piece of fried chicken, and the best part is the sambal or dipped. Ultimately, the amazing thing about nasi katok has always been that it is so affordable at only $1 Bruneian, which about 10,000 Indonesian rupiah or 3 Malaysian ringgit. The second one is ambuyat. Ambuyat is the nation's proud dish, and it has a specific method of consuming it. As you can see here, we are using a V-shaped bamboo stick called chandas. Think of it like a chopsticks, except at one end here, the end is affixed together. And the way you eat it is to twirl some of the sticky texture onto your tips and then dip them in the chacha or condiments. The condiments usually spicy or sour taste. Next, in this last couple of minutes, I would like to share about my personal experience when visiting to this longhouse. When visiting to this particular longhouse, you will experience a first-hand on the lifestyle of Iban's ethnic. A longhouse normally it housed about 20 families with about 200 residents in this particular longhouse. Okay, among the activities, you can see here is menganyam bakul. The first which also in English is basket weaving. It is known as one of the traditional handicraft, using certain parts of bamboo, rattan, and leaves of the other parts. The final product here was a takiding. Takiding is used as a backpack carrying fruits, vegetables, and harvested padi. Next, the second activity was making kueh jala, which is also another traditional delicacy. What's unique about this delicacy is that we use this specific tool made up of a stick and half coconut shell. The shell is poked with some holes in order to produce the wriggly texture here, as you can see. And the last activity during that time was Anjak Iban or Iban dance in English. Sorry for the bad angle, as this is the only recording that I have, but you will notice that the dancers here wore a traditional apparels and dance following the rhythm of the music. Okay, thank you. That's all I can share about Brunei in this cultural performance session. Feel free to share your thoughts about Brunei in the chat box, and I hope that after the pandemic situation is under control, you will have the opportunity to come to Brunei and experience the lifestyle here firsthand. Thank you, and back to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you very much, Brother Basili Fahri, for sharing about your beautiful country and culture you have there. Don't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? Please let me know your opinion about this in the chat room. Maybe you can tell us about your favorite part of the presentation, because mine was the culinary. Okay, maybe we can go to the next cultural performance that is from Malaysia. Is there any brother and sister from Malaysia that can share with us about the video that we'll be showing in the moment? Maybe to Mr. Suhaimi. Well, if there's nothing to explain, without further ado, let's see the cultural performance. Oh,
do you want a video, or I send the video to the LO?
okay.
We going to upload, or you want us to upload the video?
Okay, we will show the video to the
I will send
participant.
LO Miss Fahira.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Suhaimi. Then let's see the video cultural performance from Malaysia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Suhaimi bin Muhammad Sharif, but participant of this Winter Islamic Economic course. I would like to present the culture of Malaysia in the form of poem. Kita berfikir tentang sejuta mimpi yang tumbuh rendang dari lena, tidur dari sepi malam. Mari kita himpunkan angannya menjadi mentari pagi. Kita menyulam sejuta jiwa yang bergetar dalam riak rasa berbeza, menjadi sebuah lagu cinta, lirik perpaduan, seni rumpun negara, rentak fikir bersama, berpadu. Inilah muzik satu hati sejiwa, rumpun pelbagai bangsa, namun satu bangsa, satu bahasa, berlagu senada, menari langkah sekata. Kita menghulur jemari hati, menghantar pesan seloka, mengirim diksi dari langit, mentera dari rumpun Melayu, air mawar dari sumur Nusantara, satukan menjadi jamu cinta kita, santap dalam petang pentas terbuka, di anjung pelbagai sejuta budaya, duduk-duduk, berlamarlah di sini, sambil menganyam citra pelangi, pada wajah satu rumpun Nusantara kita, kelak menjadi lebih faham, perlu berfikir dan bertindak dalam bersatu. Berbeza dan berselisih itu boleh, tetapi kemudian bersatu tanah rumpun kita Nusantara menjadi satu, mengarah satu, satu matlamat, satu wahdah, satu fikiran, mendaulatkan ekonomi Islamiah di Nusantara. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum. Sister MC. I am another Malaysian representative. Will you please confirm whether you could hear me?
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Yusuf.
That is the video.
Malaysia
I've
is the
already submitted.
66th
Thank you.
largest country by total land area of 329,613 kilometers. It has land borders with Thailand in West Malaysia, and Indonesia and Brunei in East Malaysia. It is linked to Singapore by a narrow causeway and a bridge. The country also has maritime boundaries with Vietnam and the Philippines. The federal constitutional monarchy consists of 13 states and 3 federal territories, separated by the South China Sea into 2 regions, Peninsular Malaysia and Borneo's East Malaysia. There are 200 industrial parks along with specialized parks such as Technology Park Malaysia and Kulim High Tech Park. Freshwater is available to over 95% of the population, with groundwater accounts for 90% of the freshwater resources. The local climate is equatorial and characterized by the annual southwest, which is around April to October, and northeast monsoons during October to February. The temperature is moderated by the presence of the surrounding oceans. Humidity is usually high, and the average annual rainfall is 250 centimeters. The climates of the peninsula and the east differ, as the climate on the peninsula is directly affected by wind from the mainland, as opposed to the more maritime weather of the east. Local climates can be divided into 3 regions: highland, lowland, and coastal. Malaysia's low cost of living and high quality of life means that many expats choose to relocate here. The Malaysian government has encouraged foreigners to retire in Malaysia, as a fixed income can go a long way here. Malaysia is one of the great tourist destinations with rich in diversity, where Malay, Indian, Chinese and many others live together in respectful harmony. Islam, Malaysia's official religion, is followed by about 3/5 of the population. Islam is one of the most important factors distinguishing a Malay from a non-Malay, and, by law, all Malays are Muslim. Malaysia's rich cultural diversity is reflected in the country's packed calendar of events and festivals. Most of these celebrations have religious or cultural origins, and many are also designated as either state or national holidays. From Wesak Day to Thaipusam, festivals in Malaysia is truly remarkable and meaningful. These colorful festivities, which observe the ethnic traditions and beliefs of the varied backgrounds of the population, are what gives Malaysia the label of truly Asia that it is so well known for. The food is delicious, like everyone says, yet cheap and plentiful. Don't forget to include Malaysian dishes on your next food adventure. With its complex mix of elements including Islamic design, colonial control, and Asian traditions, Malaysia's beautiful architecture amplifies the beauty of the country. The national language is Malay, but English is widely spoken, so it's not difficult to get around and make friends with locals. Malaysia has an inspiring geographical diversity with beautiful beaches, clear waters, mountains and adventure. If you love adventure, then get ready to explore the jungle, rivers, and longest cave system in the country. Malaysia has promising beautiful cities, from great heritage to state-of-the-art structures, while 62% of the land area is forested. Here, the past and the future set side by side. Malaysians love shopping, and their night markets are well known to offer almost everything like food, gadgets, clothing, tribal handicrafts, and souvenirs. Known for its 1,000 temples with the most respectful and religious people, Malaysia is truly the land of culture and beauty, offering great adventure, mouth-watering dishes, stunning places that worth every visit.
That's the end of the second nation representatives presentation. Thank you.
And that is our first cultural video from Malaysia and Brunei Darussalam. Please give your reaction with the Zoom feature to show your appreciation for our brother and sister from Malaysia and Brunei Darussalam. That video just made me wanted to go to Malaysia and Brunei right away, right?
Please feel
And-
welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. And if I may, I want to highlight my favorite part of the poem is that it's okay to be different. It's okay to have a disagreement sometimes, as long as we can still remain united to reach our main goal. That is to uphold the Islamic economics around the world or around the Nusantara. And thank you once again for our brother and sister from Malaysia and Brunei Darussalam for sharing us your culture and country. Now for the second performance, we are going to watch a cultural performance from the country of Philippines and Gambia. I would like to ask the representative from our brothers and sister from Philippines and Gambia. Maybe we'll go to Philippines first. Is there any brother and sister from Philippines who can tell about the video that we'll be showing in the moment?
Hello,
Or
good
maybe-
afternoon. Yes, I will be having my presentation.
Oh yeah, okay. Please, brother, the time and screen is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Leonard Peras from the Philippines, Asia's first democracy. Jose Rizal is the Philippine national hero. He wrote the books Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo to fight for political reform for the Philippine colony under Spain. He was executed by the Spanish colonial government on December 30, 1896 for the crime of rebellion after the Philippine Revolution, inspired by his writings, broke out. Before his execution by firing squad on December 30, 1896, Jose Rizal wrote a poem entitled Mi Ultimo Adios, or My Last Farewell. And fast forward to 1944. Philippine President Benigno Aquino during the state dinner in honor of Indonesian President Joko Widodo on February 9, 2015. Mr. President, in 1944, an Indonesian journalist named Rosihan Anwar came across a poem written by our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, entitled Mi Ultimo Adios, or My Last Farewell. Struck by Dr. Rizal's words, he would translate this into Bahasa Indonesia. Just as Dr. Rizal's death inspired our forebears to persevere in the fight for justice and independence, it is said that Rosihan Anwar's translation of his words inspired Indonesians during their country's struggle for independence. This speaks to our shared values and to the importance of our people give to democracy, true freedom, and inclusive prosperity. So I would be sharing an excerpt from Mi Ultimo Adios, My Last Farewell, Salam Terakir, originally in Spanish by Jose Rizal and translated into English and Bahasa Indonesia. Farewell, my adored land, region of the sun caressed, pearl of the Orient Sea, our Eden lost. With gladness I give you my life, sad and depressed. And were it more brilliant, more fresh, and at its best, I would still give it to you for your welfare at most. On the fields of battle, in the fury of fight, others give you their lives without pain or hesitancy. The place does not matter. Cypress, laurel, lily white, scaffold, open field, conflict, or martyrdom site, it is the same if asked by home and country. I die as I see tints on the sky begin to show and at last announce the day after a gloomy night. If you need a you to dye your matutinal glow, pour my blood and at the right moment spread it so and gild it with the reflection of your nascent light. My dreams when scarcely a lad adolescent, my dreams when already a youth, full of vigor to attain, were to see you, gem of the sky of the Orient, your dark eyes dry, smooth brow held to a plane, without frown, without wrinkles, and of shame without stain. My life's fancy, my ardent, passionate desire, hail! Cries out the soul to you that will soon part from thee. Hail! How sweet 'tis to fall, that fullness you may acquire, to die to give you life, neath your skies to expire, and in thy mystic land to speak through eternity. Pray thee for all the hapless who have died, for all those who unequal torments have undergone, for our poor mothers who in bitterness have cried, for orphans, widows, and captives to tortures were shielded, and pray too that you may see your own redemption. My idolized country for whom I most gravely pine, dear Philippines, to my last goodbye. Oh, hearken, there I leave all, my parents, loves of mine. I'll go where there are no slaves, no tyrants or hangmen, where faith does not kill, and where God alone does reign. Farewell, parents, brothers, and beloved of mine, friends of my childhood in the home distressed. Give thanks that I now rest from this wearisome day. Farewell, sweet stranger, my friend, who brightened my way. Farewell to all I love. To die is to rest. Jose Rizal was a lot of many things. He was a doctor, an educator, traveler, poet, writer, and polymath and polyglot to us Filipinos, but he was first and foremost a patriot who loved his country so much that he was willing to sacrifice even his life for it. Thank you. Salamat. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Brother Linrit, for sharing your great history of your country and your very beautiful poem. Please give a pause for our brother from Philippines. And next we will see the cultural videos from Gambia. Is there any brother or sister from Gambia that can explain to us about the video that we'll be showing in the moment?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, I am saying hello to everyone.
Okay, maybe we can.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam
Walaikum
warahmatullahi.
salam. The video is showing the cultural dance of the Gambia. Meanwhile, I didn't include all the the traditional issues for the cultural dance, I just take one important one. Most importantly, the Gambia gained their independence in 1965, and now we have our third president. I think that's all I have. Thank you all.
Okay, then let's go ahead and see the cultural video from Gambia. Well, give a round of applause for our brother and sister from Gambia. What a very amazing culture you have there. It's just make me want to join the dance right now. And that is the cultural video from Philippines and Gambia. How is it, ladies and gentlemen? Please give your reaction with the Zoom features and let me know your opinion in the chat room. And next, we're going to see the third cultural performance, and that is from Nigeria and Pakistan. I would like to ask the representative from our brothers and sisters from Nigeria and Pakistan. Is there any brother and sister from maybe Nigeria or Pakistan who can tell us about the cultural video that we'll be showing in the moment?
Somebody come to God.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Nigeria. Then if I see, I should be able to tell you something about it, right? But I've not seen the video. Then if I see, then I should be able to tell you something relating to that, inshallah.
The video has been sent. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
The video has been sent, I think so. I sent the video to our what's it called? Our moderator from the group.
Okay, you were the one that sent it, Abi?
Yes, I sent the video on Nigerian
democratic era.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Then you can move on and tell us. Then if I have additional thing that should be able, okay, you can move on.
The video should be shared screen now.
Okay, maybe we can just go straight to the video.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the cultural video from Nigeria.
The history of Nigeria can be traced back to the prehistoric settlers or Nigerians living in these areas as early as 11,000 BC. Many ancient African civilizations settled in this region that is today Nigeria. In this part of Africa, the large river Niger provided water essential for communities to grow. The earliest known example of a human skeleton found anywhere in West Africa was found in today's Nigeria. Microlithic and ceramic industries were also developed by Savannah people from at least the 4th millennium BC and were continued by agricultural communities. The earliest iron using Nigerian culture is that of the Nok culture in 900 BC. In the Hausa kingdoms lived the Hausa people and were situated between the Niger River and the Lake Chad. This part of Nigerian history is reflected by a mythological story, the Bayajida legend. The legend describes the adventure of the hero Bayajida. He came from the Middle East, traveled the desert, married the local queen and had a child, and another one with the queen's maidservant. The legend says that Hausa states were founded by the sons of Bayajida. The Hausa kingdoms were first mentioned in the 9th century, and they were by the 15th century important trading centers competing with Kan and Bornu or the Mali Empire. The primary exports were slaves, leather, gold, cloth, salt, cola nuts or animal hides. During this time, many African civilizations existed in this region that is today Nigeria, such as kingdoms of Nerai, Benin Empire or Oyo Empire. It's believed that Islam reached Nigeria through the Borno Empire somewhere in the 11th century. Hausa states were touched by this religion around 1385. In the 16th century, a larger Yoruba Empire develops. Speaking about the Benin Empire, their fame is not based on power, but on having the contact with Portuguese. This is the coastal kingdom which the Portuguese discovered when they reached the mouth of Niger in the 1470s, bringing back to Europe news about the African artifacts. Christianity came here in the 15th century due to Portuguese. Speaking more in detail about the states that existed here before 1500s, on today's Nigerian territory we could find the kingdoms of Benin, Borgu, Hausa, Kwararafa, Ibibio, Nerai, Nupe, Wari, and the empires of Fulani, Kanem Bornu, Oyo, and Songhai. During the 16th century, the Songhai Empire reached its peak, stretching on a large area and for more than 100 years influencing and shaping the history of Nigeria. This period is marked by diverse conflicts. One example, the conflict between the Tuareg and Borno. From the start of the 19th century, there was a pretty high interest for the British in this land. In 1821, British government sponsors an expedition south through the Sahara to reach the Kingdom of Borno. Its members became the first Europeans to reach Lake Chad. Slaves would trade for European goods. Following the Napoleonic Wars, British expanded the trade with the Nigerian interior. In 1885, British claimed the West African sphere of influence, receiving international recognition. The Royal Niger Company was created under this name in 1886. In 1900, the company's territory came under the control of the British government. On 1st of January 1901, Nigeria became a British protectorate and part of the British Empire. Between 1886 and 1940, the partition of Africa happened between the colonial powers. The borders of Nigeria were created, and Nigeria as a part of British Empire. Western education and development of a modern economy proceeded more rapidly in the south than in the north in this territory, with consequences felt in Nigeria's political life ever since. After the World War II, Nigerian nationalism was on the rise. On 1st of October 1954, the colony became the Autonomous Federation of Nigeria, and in 1958, Britain agreed that Nigeria would become an independent state on the 1st of October 1960. Four republics existed here in this land, ruled by instability from that period to the present days. If after the war the population of Nigeria was around 30 million people, today in this country we can find almost 200 million people. There are more to say, of course, but this was Nigeria in a nutshell. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.
Okay, and that is the video from Nigeria. Thank you for sharing your history of your country. And next, we will go to the cultural video from Bangladesh and Yemen. I would like to ask a representative from our brothers and sisters from Bangladesh and Yemen. Is there any brother and sister that can tell us about the video that we'll be showing in the moment? Okay, if there's nothing to explain, without further ado, let's watch the cultural performance from Bangladesh.
যত দেখি প্রাণ ভরে না হৃদয়ের মাঝে রাখি তারে
Happiness needs no reason. This is what you will feel when you come here. Things that you will do, people that you will meet, will keep on surprising you. Be with the sun. Be with the mystic wind.
যতই দেখি প্রাণ ভরে না তাই হৃদয় মাঝারে রাখি তারে ও যতই দেখি প্রাণ ভরে না তাই হৃদয় মাঝারে রাখি তারে
Your mind is a traveler. Now let your heart be the tourist guide. surprises. You'll find warmth you've been looking for all your life. Here, everyone has a story to tell. So when you leave with stories that you can treasure, friends that will last a lifetime.
যতই দেখি প্রাণ ভরে না, তাই হৃদয় মাঝারে রাখি তারে। ও যতই দেখি প্রাণ ভরে না, তাই হৃদয় মাঝারে রাখি তারে।
Welcome to beautiful Bangladesh, a land of stories.
What a beautiful video from Bangladesh, the land of stories. And hopefully, after the pandemic is over, we can go traveling there. Amin. And the next cultural video will be from Yemen. Is there our brother and sister that can explain to us about the video that we'll be showing in the moment? Well, if there's nothing to explain, without further ado, let's watch the cultural video from Yemen.
ما اقدر على فرقتها ما اقدر، هذه الحقيقة وكل السوء بربكم هل عرفتونا، بربكم هل عرفتونا، في قامة رمح غساني والقعد فوق الأمثاني وما بسمحهم رتاني لو تبحثوا بتلاقونا، لو تبحثوا بتلاقونا. والقعد إلى فوق الأمثاني وما بسمحهم ريت أغاني لو تبحث تبحثوا بتلاقونا لو تبحثوا بتلاقونا عيون له تأسر الناظر وتربش الفهم الشاطر أعيش حبال وجداني أعيش مخلص ومتفاني أرضى بديلة بحد ثاني غزل الذي هم يحسدون غزل الذي هم يحسدون
Okay, and that is the cultural video from Yemen. Please give your applause and reaction with the Zoom feature to show an appreciation for our brother and sister from Yemen. And thank you very much for sharing your culture, especially the food. I mean, all of the video that has been shown today just make me want to go visit all of the country, isn't it? And now we've seen 7 cultural videos so far, and all of them were amazing. And are you guys ready for the next performance? Now we're going to see the cultural performance from Somalia and Sri Lanka. Like always, I would like to ask a representative from our brother or sister from Somalia. Okay, is there any brother and sister from Somalia who can explain to us about the culture or your country? Okay. Please, Brother Muhammad, the time and screen is yours.
Can you see my screen? Sorry.
Yes, I can.
Okay. Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Today I want to first, there are 2 phases. First phase is this side. I will try to just go over. And the second is the video. So Somali culture, actually Somalia is located in the eastern part of Africa. And the background of the country is surrounded by Red Sea, at the same time Indian Ocean on the eastern side. The country is nearby Kenya, Yemen also, which is a really amazing culture before. And the other name for the country is also called Horn of Africa, because actually it resembles the horn of this, you can see it really resembles the horn of a rhino. And the country's flag is this, which definitely represents the 5 states of Somalia. These are each pillar here represents a state. Don't you think it's beautiful? The capital city of the country is Mogadishu, where the name is sometimes called the Brilliant. Also, the King Mughal Shah, also some etymology gives like that, but in the Somali meaning, it is the bill that that blurs the light. Somali people speak Somali language as well as Arabic and Italian. And in the Italian, because they were colonized by five actually colonial powers, Italy was one of them. English, the England, British, as well as the French, Portuguese came, but they were less time. This is the currency of Somalia. This is 1,000 units, and this is the 500 units. Somali people, they are actually 99% Muslims, and majority of the people are Somalis, which are 85, and Jews as well as Arabs. These are the tools used by the Somalis. This is for keeping the, like meat as well as some tea also. These are the crafts which they are proud of it. Actually, women build houses, the cultural houses. Women are the background of that. This one also, the pottery. We have a rich culture in pottery, which aged from a long time, and it was developing till now. It's developing, and the food. This is also called ancheo. We have a good cuisine. This is ancheo, as well as some in the northern area. It's called lahore. This is samosa. I think all Asians, as well as Africans, as well as all of them know this as samosa. This is also traditional cuisine. The unique one we use is the halwa, which is a sweets and unique for our country. The culture for the women, actually women love henna. We are rich in henna, and the design for the henna as well as these are the culture of, we have camels as well as goats. We are rich in banana as well. Then actually the country is agricultural based country, and we have potential of blue ocean as well as natural resources like petrol as well as uranium. But I think all these things will be discussed in the video. I'm glad and thank you. This was just the introduction, but the video I would like to share a video. I think.
Okay, thank you, Brother Saidama, for sharing your culture. And next we have more video from Somalia.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the cultural video from Somalia.
Somalia is a country located on the east coast of Africa, forming the shape of a horn. The country was known as the land of gods to the ancient Egyptians, the land of the tallest men to the ancient Persians, the land of cinnamon to the ancient Greeks, the land of aromatics to the ancient Romans, and the land of the unicorn to the ancient Chinese. Frankincense, one of the gifts of the biblical three wise kings, came from ancient Somalia. To this day, the Roman Catholic Church still sources all of its incense exclusively from Somalia, which remains the world's largest producer. Ancient Somalis were the first to domesticate camels in 2500 BC and spread it to ancient Egypt and the Middle East. Somalia today still has more camels than any country on earth. Somalis are the only African ethnic group to have a sea named after them. Off the coast of Sicily lies the Somali Sea. Despite emerging from a civil war, Somalia still has the most deep-water ports on the African continent. With the longest coastline in mainland Africa, Somalia is one of 5 African countries selected by Rakanshur to become a blue economy giant. Somalia has 52 million heads of livestock, 27 million sheep and goats, 15 million camels, 5 million cows, and one of the richest fishing grounds in the world. Somalia's dairy industry is worth $3.3 billion. According to the Spectator Index, Somalia is also ranked first in global camel milk production. A Financial Times article has stated that the best real estate investment in the world today is beachfront huts in Somalia. Somalia is considered a future energy superpower with an estimated 110 billion barrels of oil, 1/3 of the world's uranium reserves, the strongest wind power potential in the world, and 3,000 hours of sunlight annually. This is Somalia.
Okay, give a round of applause for our brother and sister from Somalia. Thank you for sharing with us your very beautiful country. And next we have a cultural video from Sri Lanka. Is there any brother and sister from Sri Lanka who can explain to us about the video that we'll be showing in the moment? Well, if there's nothing to explain, without further ado, let's go ahead and see the cultural performance from Sri Lanka. And that is the video from Sri Lanka, Wonder of Asia. Thank you very much to our brother and sister from Somalia and Sri Lanka. Please give your reaction by using the Zoom feature to appreciate our brother and sister from Somalia and Sri Lanka. And let me know your opinion in the chat room about how the cultural performance has been going so far. Now we're getting closer to the last performance. I'm sure you all can wait to see the next performance. I would like to ask the representative from our brother and sister from India and Indonesia. Is there any brother and sister from India, maybe, to explain to us about the video that we'll be showing in the moment? Well, if there's nothing to explain, without further ado, let's go ahead and see the cultural performance from India.
Hello friends, welcome to the Exam Bench General Awareness Learning Series. In this series of videos, we'll be knowing the importance of culture and its brief overlook. In the first session, we'll be knowing gist of everything. All of these topics will be covered in the upcoming videos. Comment which one you want to see first in the series of videos. In India, more than 1.3 billion people live. India is a land of many cultural livings. Unity through diversity is the main attraction to India by many of the foreign countries. Like United States, India is also a federal union where almost all of its states carries different languages, different cultural identities. Indian civilization is very ancient. The Indus Valley civilization was one of the first civilizations on earth. The Vedic period was a time in Indian history when the Hindu religion and caste system began in India. Mughal Empire was the last and strongest Islamic empire in India. So because of this unity through diversity and different cultural identities only, India is known as a subcontinent within Asian continent. So here we see India in people with different clothing, people with different religions, people with different food habits, people with different celebrations. People living in different localities like urban, semi-urban, or rural. So this is how people carries or live in different localities. So India is also mainly classified into four major sections, four major parts. The one is North India, the major city in North India is New Delhi, and the Eastern India, the metropolitan city in Eastern India is Kolkata. Western India, the Mumbai is the metropolitan city, represents Western India, and South India, Chennai represents South India as a metropolitan city. Indian people across the nation eat different foods as per their geographical availability. Like North Indian people would prefer to eat wheat and all, and South Indian foods always carries rice. So all over the India, vegetables are available. People take seafood, meat also taken by people, but however, cows are considered sacred by Hindus, many of whom are vegetarian. So all of India, you can see masala spices, people drinking tea and coffee. Next, we'll see about religion. Religion in India is characterized by a diversity of religious beliefs and practices. The Indian subcontinent is the birthplace of four of the world's religions, namely Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. With the people coming and settling from foreign, India is also now includes majority of the people living in India following Christianity and Islam also. Next, we will see about some major facts about the Indian important historical monuments. India is home to many historical monuments, Mughals and the South Indian kings. And prior to that, those Hindu kings have built so many monuments across India. And the important ones to mention are Taj Mahal, Brihadishwara Temple in Tanjavur, Mysore Palace, Harmandir Sahib, Ajanta Ellora Caves, Mahabalipuram, Khajuraho, and the list is a long one. We will see all about these in a separate video. Next comes is music, traditional music of India. Hindustani and Carnatic are popularly known traditional music of India. Hindustani means classical music of North India. Carnatic means classical music of South India. Melody, drone, tala are some of the traditional elements of Indian music. String, wind, percussion are some of the most commonly used in Indian music. The next comes is dances, traditional dances of India. Dance is an ancient and celebrated cultural tradition in India. Folk dances abound all across the country, and huge crowds of people can be found dancing at festivals and weddings. Dance and song features heavily in Indian cinema also. So you can see the Mollywood, Kollywood, Bollywood, and everything. You see songs that feature dances. Indian dance draw its roots from six of the most important classical dance forms. They are Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, Kathak, Manipuri, Kuchipudi, Odissi. Again, we will see all about these things in separate video. There are many other cultural traditions exist in India that everyone should know, especially those who are preparing for competitive examinations. We'll be seeing all these in our upcoming videos. Comment your favorite topic on all these things. Either you want dance as a first video, you want cultural traditions like music or historic monuments as a first video, different kind of foods. There are many topics coming in this series. Hit the subscribe button to get the latest update from Exam Bench channel. Goodbye.
Okay, that is the video from India. Please give your applause for our brother and sister from India. And thank you very much for sharing with us your very full explanation about your culture. And the next one, the last but not least cultural performance are from Indonesia. Is there any brother and sister from Indonesia that can explain to us about the cultural video that we'll be showing in the moment?
Yes, I am here.
Okay. Okay, Sister Rahma.
Yes. Can
Okay, the
operator
time and screen is yours.
Thank you. for your opportunity. Can operator show me the slide? Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you and the mercy and blessing of Allah. My respect to the lecturers, researcher, and warm greeting to all brother and sister. I'm Rahma Dia Putri, student at IPB University, and now I'm represent Indonesia in today's culture performance. I will present a brief overview of Indonesia and end with a video about Indonesia. Thanks in advance for your attention, everyone, and happy watching. Next. Thank you. Indonesia, its geographical location is between the continents of Australia and Asia, and between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Oceans. Astronomically, Indonesia is located at 6 degrees south latitude until 11 degrees south latitude and 95 degrees east longitude until 141 degrees east longitude. Indonesia's longitude 0 degrees in Greenwich, causing Indonesia to have three time zones, namely Western Indonesia time, Central Indonesia time, and Eastern Indonesia time. Please next. Thank you. Due to Indonesia geographical location, the geographical location of Indonesia causes Indonesia to have two seasons, namely the rainy season and the dry season. Indonesia is an archipelagic country and has a tropical climate. Indonesia also has thousands of islands. At the United Nations Conference on the Standardization of Geographical Name UNSCSGN on Montreal, Canada in 1987, the government of Indonesia submitted a report to the UN that the island in Indonesia had grown from 13,667 islands to 17,580 islands. This causes Indonesia to have many tourist attractions with all the beauty that only exists in Indonesia. A brief example of some beautiful place in Indonesia next. This is some beautiful place in Indonesia. That's Labuan Bajo, Bali, Raja Ampat, and Derawan. And next. Indonesia has a cultural diversity in the fields of art, language, civilization, and religions. This is due to the location of Indonesia, which is a cross position. Of this cross position is for Indonesia to between the confluence of two continents and two oceans, namely the Asian continents and the Australian continents, as well as the Indian Oceans and the Pacific Oceans. Next. Thank you. Indonesia has about 1,350 ethnic groups, according to the census of the Central Statistic Agency in 2010. And the Javanese are the largest group in Indonesia, with a number that reached 41% of total population. Tribal diversity in Indonesia has 718 different regional languages, and Bahasa Indonesia is the official national language that is understood of and spoken by more than 90% of the Indonesian population. Next. Thank you. In Indonesia, there are 6 recognized religions, namely Islam, Protestantism, Catholicism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Around 87.2% of Indonesia population is Muslim. Religious diversity doesn't divide Indonesia, in particular from the various religions, ethnicities, language, cultures that Indonesia has with a large population. diversity and differences actually make Indonesia colorful, full of tolerance, and go hand in hand unity. Next.
Ditahan dulu. Kontrak udah dibuat kontrak buat berapa tahun yang lalu tuh deh.
That's all.
Iya, terus karena itu akhirnya buat strategi marketing juga.
Video clip summary entitled Wonderful Indonesia by Alfie Rev featuring Novia Bahmid from Alfie Rev YouTube channel. Before that, I'm sorry for any mistake. I love Indonesia and I'm proud to be an Indonesian citizen. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And we still have a cultural video from Indonesia. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the cultural video from Indonesia.
Jiwa raga
Indonesia is the most beautiful land in the universe. The land where we were born, the nation where we grew up. So many colors that live together in peace. With a million timeless treasures, with an abundance of natural wealth. Indonesia is not just wonderful. Indonesia is a wonderland.
Kota baru damai jauh menghadapku di sana. Sayang sifat toka jujur sajujur. Iumadam ku bisa berpari samuna keke, samuna keke. Soleram kampunan jauh di matu kunwangsan sebaku milian jahit sing jahit
And that is our very last cultural video from India and Indonesia. How is it, ladies and gentlemen? The last cultural video from our agenda. They're also great, aren't they? Please send me your opinion about the cultural performance we have today. And ladies and gentlemen, So that is the cultural performance of the 2021 Islamic Winter Course. We would like to appreciate all the respected participants who have presented and shared their cultural performance. And we do apologize to all participants if you find many inconvenience from us during your session. Before we end this agenda, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to remind all the participants that we still have a closing ceremony for the 2021 Winter Course program, which will start at 6 past 30 minutes or 6:30 p.m. Western Indonesian time or Ba'da Maghrib by Indonesia time. So hopefully all of the participants return to the virtual room 5 minutes before we start the closing ceremony. Wallahu alam, let's close this session by saying hamdalah, alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, and dua kifarah majelis. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, asyhadu alla ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.